in a serious lineup last week and got a DNP over 2 games. Oh, yeah. Yeah, still waiting, Sneeps. I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. Let's see what we're getting. Mike's on the case. He's going up to YouTube head office right now. He's going to get it all sorted out for us. Never fear. Oh, we got Mike jumping on. I think he's just going for I think he's looking at the technical end. But whilst we're waiting, yeah, let's spam. Oh, we're live on YouTube now. Sneeps. Are we live on YouTube? We are live on YouTube, Sneeps. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Let's get some love for Sneeps as well. Let's get some love for Sneeps. How's everyone doing, though? That's what I want to see. Get well, Mike. I want to see some in the comments. Everyone, come through. Mike's giving me the all set. We're good. We're good to go. Let's chill. Yeah, it needs to go to his ISP's office. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Yeah, I see that. I kind of droid. But yeah, so there's a few more in here now. Probably you didn't hear me before from it. If you don't know who I am, I'm not just some random British guy that's hacked into Team Hold's YouTube account. My name's George. I'm over from the Swingman Podcast. We do our own little thing on, hashtag this ain't Mike. I'll tell you what, we the people, you are not wrong. You are not wrong indeed. My name's George. I'm from the Swingman Podcast. We talk about the NBA. We've done so for years now. We're just some British guys that talk about your sport, and you probably hate us for it. But, you know, we're here for it, and that's what we're going to do. Me, myself, I post Sorare videos on our Swingman Pod's YouTube channel. Do it twice a week. It's quite fun. Been having some fun with it, so we're going to roll with it. Let's take a look as well right now. Let's have a look at the game week center that we've got for Sorare data for the current game week. I know Mike normally uses Momentum Labs. I'm going to use Sorare data. It isn't a hashtag ad, but I know everyone's friends with the guys over at Sorare Data. If you are having some, Mike got taller. Do you know what? I actually don't know Mike's height. I'm 6 foot. I would say 6'1" with some shoes on, but I don't know how tall Mike is. Yeah, let's go, George. I'll say a British Mike. You know, we can roll with that. But yeah, Get Well Mike is the hashtag for the giveaway. If you didn't know as well, we're going to be giving away the John Collins. I don't know if a few of you heard that from the YouTube issues that we had before, but that's what we're going to roll with. I think Mike is watching everything like that. So yeah, we'll show him some love, and he should be back hopefully for the next lock-in. I'm on my own here, so I'm going to be taking a few swigs of water just to make sure, you know, I can stay afloat for it. But yeah, I mean, if you've got questions, if you've got lineup concerns, all of this sort of stuff, ping me it over. I'll do the best that I can. Why pay for anything other than Sorare data? What a true question that there is right there. I'm sure Andrew Laird would be buzzing with that one as well. There we go. Has Mike been on the piss again? I'll let him answer that one. It could be a very clever decoy, Charles, is what I could say. Mike's been on an all-day bender, but something gives me the impression that he's not. Mike UK Zakarian. There we go. Thoughts on Fox tonight? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see what Sorare Data's saying about Fox before I give you anything. Now, they're putting him a difference of 4 as a minus. And do you know what? As the play is, I have him in my particular teams. I haven't got him in my actual lineup right now. Can I show you this? This going to work? Yeah, there we go. Getting the hang of it all. So if I go through, I'll run you through my lineups as well before we do anything. This is a bit different to the approach that Mike would normally take for it. And Mike was just sending me something. It's a bit different to the approach that Mike would normally go, but I'll go you through some of mine if I can do it. I've got some rewards. I might even open them on this stream. I'm not sure yet. In general, I don't have a De'Aaron Fox playing, but as you can see, I'm playing Bo again. So clearly I've been hit in the head. That's the issue. Any recommendations for limited pickup? What's limited pick? Oh, is limited pickup the mode where if you've only got 10 limited, you can play it? Is that the one, Red Wolf? Just let me know if that's the one, and then I can maybe go for it a bit more. But in any case, you can see some of my lineups here. I'm playing Juan Toscano Anderson. It's a bit of a rogue pick. Can I zoom in a bit more? Yeah, how can we do it like this? Does that work for you? Does that work, Saliba? Can you see that? Was you asking for myself to be zoomed in? I'd be very flattered if that was the case, but I'm sure you're talking about the Sorare lineups. But these are my lineups, like I said before. If there's anything here that you sort of like, Red Wolf, you are talking about that. So how does that one work? Is that you need a particular, like an MVP? Do you need 1 limited and 4 commons, and it can be anyone? Is that how that works? Let me know with that one. Saliba, let me know if it's all better for you now. But yeah, these are my lineups that I've got, as I've said before. I think Taurine Prince, I believe Anthony Edwards has been ruled out. And in fact, let's do that as well. We'll go and have a look. If I pull up Underdog's Twitter, and we'll take a scroll down there. NBA Underdog. You can use all commons. Okay, so I mean, if you're using all commons, who is that your MVP? Is that what you can have? Your best card as an MVP? You just need one limited, or are you talking? What's the one in particular you're on about for that there? Let's go through the underdog NBA side of things. Who have we got out? Tyrese Halliburton is back. Chris Duarte is back. Come on, what are you doing to me, Saliba? 480p quality. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Doug McDermott is back. Trey Jones is back. Let's have a little scroll down. Is anyone more important? Paul George. Yeah, not going to be optimistic for that first round, is he? Seth Curry out personal. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander questionable. Kevin Durant could return Wednesday. Not great news for me, who's just bought a rare Devin Booker. This is the big ones. Here we go. Embiid questionable, as he always is. Dame Lillard questionable. That could be shutdown season. SGA TBDs questionable. Kyrie questionable. James Harden questionable. AD probable. Yeah. Jason Tatum's a good. I saw a stat. I think it was on the Kyrie Irving podcast that he was on the JJ Redick podcast that he was shooting 14% from pull-up threes since the All-Star break. So, not that it's really relevant to your MVP for Jason Tatum, but there we go. Nonetheless, like I said before, if you've got any sort of questions that you want to run through, ping them over to me. I'll do the absolute best that I can to assist you in my knowledge. So we'll go through Anthony Edwards, ill, doesn't practice. That boost the Taurean Prince pick, if you have one of them, went off for that mad game the other week where he got, or the other day where he had 8 out of 8 threes. I think it was all in a row as well. Joel Embiid, he's participating in shoot around, but he's questionable like he always is. I don't think James Harden will play, in my personal opinion. Tatum is the fakest MVP in the league. Now that's how we're going to get some common rivalries going on. No arguments in the comments. I want friendly discussions only. Mike is ill. We need to sort of preserve this as a communal happy space is what we need to do. On the DeJounte train with Trae Young questionable. I mean, the Hawks at the moment are an interesting one is what I'll say. DeJounte, he'll be a solid selection in any case. But, it's a good one to go for. They got 2 games this week. I think I had an Okongwu. Did I play an Okongwu in the end? No, I didn't. Let's have a look. If we go to Rare Contender, let's have a quick little look. Yeah, they got 2 games. Indiana and Memphis, not too bad at all. Right, let's go back onto Sorare data right now, and we'll run through sort of some of the picks that I'm liking. If we scroll it on down here to an L10 of 20. So we'll change. If you don't know how to do this as well on Sorare data, it's a nice little tool for it. You can go on to SO5, Game Week Center, then you change it to basketball, change it to the current game week, which is 44. That would help if I did that as well. Refresh the page and go from there. I don't have much options for MVP. Thoughts on Jaden Hardy? Didn't play him last week and regretted it. Now he's in my lineup and Prob's not going to play. Right, we'll take a quick look at this one and then we will jump into this. Jaden Hardy, yeah, it's not looking good on the role player side. Obviously, these are just sort of projections. They're not Stonewall sort of stuff. So I wouldn't live and die by them. But, they're a good indication of where you can sort of go from. Sometimes you need that IKB, that I know better attitude. But we'll roll with Sorare to sort of to help us out a bit more. Let's have a look through here. Green still preferred guard. Sorare is so much fun. Noble Hesse, I could not agree with you more, to be honest. It's a great side piece to all of the, for the football, for the baseball side that's coming back up, and also for the NBA. It's a great thing to just have in addition. It makes you watch a lot more games. So that's been it for me. Yes, it's a solo George stream. It's tough out here for me. It really is tough out here. But when Mike's down, you got to step up and help him out. Just send Bol to the Pistons. Watch him put up Wiseman numbers. So this was. Do you really think that is the case? Do you think it's the Magic sort of being a bit weird with him in his rotation that he is capable of those sort of magic of those Wiseman games? I don't know if he is. Like some of the shooting stuff when you see where there was a clip that was going around where he's putting his knees together to shoot the basketball, it just seems a little bit. It's a little bit something not right there. James, the Yanks have done you. No, they've never. They're relying on the British allies. That's what they're doing. That's what we're here. There's the communication. It's the love between the Swingman podcast and the team hold. There's no dirtiness done. I missed one there. With Harden out and possibly Embiid, how do you like DeAnthony Melton? If it wasn't really matter with Joel Embiid, I'd say that just sort of makes Paul Rudd a better play. But Paul Rudd, did I just say I meant Paul Reed, not Paul Rudd? DeAnthony Melton as a play in regardless. If James Harden's out, he switches his roles in terms of the Sixers. He'll see more usage. I like Tyrese Maxey as well, potentially Tobias Harris, the ultimate paid 3-and-D, or the ultimate paid three-point corner shooter guy that he is. But no, DeAnthony Melton is a solid pick. I know he's come off the back of like 3 games of 47 or so. So 25 is still decent for him, but there's also nothing to suggest that DeAnthony Melton might just put up a sort of 10-point game, and that's the issue that you have to live with a DeAnthony Melton. Anyway, let's go back to what I was doing before. We'll scroll this down to an L10 of 20. We'll take a look at some guys that I really like here. Drew Eubanks is not one of them, no matter what that says. I assume that's because Yusuf Nurkic is out. I like Trendon Watford more. I think he's got an L10 higher of 20 is the issue with that. Abaji's got 20. Monte Morris, not bad if Bradley Beal's sitting. Biyombo will be really good this week. If we can go over to him, let's share him. I mean, yeah, the price is spiking on him. This is the issue with these summer guys as well. Obviously, I don't have to say this. None of this is financial advice. But whenever these guys have these specifically spiked auctions that go through, I wouldn't necessarily bite the cherry at them always just before a deadline. In this case, he's always a good one to have this season for when Ayton's sat. He'll come in and pick up some good minutes, but I wouldn't say it's the be all and end all to pick him up. Nick Richards has been good recently. I wouldn't go near a Kevin Love. Pat Connaughton as well, not too bad. Anyone else down here? The one that I did look at actually, because I put him in my lineups and I haven't even looked, is Kevin Knox. Now, before you think, oh my God, this guy has hit his head severely and he's recommending that we play Kevin Knox, I'm not. This is my own thing. If I mess this up, it's entirely my fault. But he jumped back into the rotation sort of from out of nowhere, and this is the biggest sign to me that the Trailblazers are full on now, just being like, yeah, this season's done. We're playing Kevin Knox. That's pretty much it. He got a couple of minutes. He's had a 24, an 11, and a 15, but it's just because he's got an L10 of 5. That's what's making me look at him and think, do you know what? I could make the gamble on him there. So we'll go back to the list in general. Anyone else? Jalen Williams is a solid one as well. 19. He's got the 2 games. I like the guys with the 2 games this week, especially when I don't think anyone that's got a 3 this week, but 2. I wouldn't normally focus on it, but it's always nice to have. Chris Boucher, I'm playing him, but like I said in my lineup video before, it's not something that I'm going crazy over. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, the second favorite, Jalen Williams. OKC. Yeah, definitely. Luke Kennard. Now that Jar's back, Luke Kennard just becomes that sort of Luke Kennard player. If we're going to go off of that, I don't really see too much else. Johnny Juzang, yeah, got his first buckets the other day. 16, not too bad. There's not really much else that I'm loving there. If we swap it by a difference and we can search from him, yeah, Biyombo is coming out as the top one. That's to be expected. Shaden Sharp's not too bad, and he should see a really increase. If the Blazers announce that Lillard is shut down, he'd be a really good one towards the end of the season to have. Kevin Knox, I wouldn't recommend, but it's what I've said before. Juan Toscano-Anderson, like I've said, I've got him in my lineups. I fell for this projection last week. He'll get good minutes. It's just that because he's Juan Toscano-Anderson, it means he isn't actually he's not a very good basketball player. So you're not going to get big Sorare scores. This is the issue with these things. You can get guys that will have a good projection from them, but at the end of the day, there's a reason they don't see normal minutes. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt when you're going off these. Usman Garubu, I've got him on my lineups as well. He's just been getting a bit more rotation in the Rockets. Terrence Mann, now that Paul George is out. So yeah, we'll go through a few other things. Did you say AD is probable? To the best of my knowledge, Red Wolf, AD is probable. We'll go through it. Yeah, Biyombo with that low L8 is very, very good. What's this here? As a fellow Brit, how do you have a sane sleep schedule whilst watching the NBA? It's a very, very good question. I don't is the short answer to it. I mean, you can get some, as you probably know, there are some games that we'll get that will start at 11, maybe midnight if we're lucky on a midweek. Weekends a bit more kinder. You normally get a Saturday game that will come up maybe at sort of 8 o'clock. Sundays you can get a 6 o'clock game. So there's some ones out there, but there's not too much love shown to us guys over here. I'm sure Father Mike will be all right. Yeah, I think the NyQuil is helping him out big time here. Kevin Knox at point guard, who says no. Probably everyone that watches the NBA will want to say no at that one. Thoughts on Joe Harris with the Nets having 2 games of 24 hours? I mean, we can take a look at what the projection is saying for a Joe Harris. It's not saying good things. And that's what I would agree with. Joe Harris is not someone that I would ever suggest, especially this season. Maybe in prior years, that's some unfair criticism. But this season, it's not been, I mean, yeah, he's got a season high 34. He might see an uptick in minutes, but if you're relying on that for your game week, it's going to be a bit tough. It's going to be a bit rough for you, my friend, unfortunately, if that's it. So I wouldn't go for him as the necessary play. So many wraps out. Who's out, Sleeper? Let me know. I know is Gary Trent Jr. out still on Scotty Barnes? I think that might mean that if they're out, Siakam is just going to go for one of his legendary gamer nights. Drew Eubanks, Pat Connaughton, or Josh Green? Is that one of the three? Is that one of the three? Matt Jazz? Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Is Lillard going to play or not? The best thing I saw was that he was questionable. So I would lean on the side of no, is what I'll say. All three British NBA fans are all in one chat. Yeah, all three of them. That's it. There's no more. That's us, guys. We're all here. We've got it there. JD, big shout out to you. How you doing? Who would I play out of those three? Okay, Drew Eubanks. We'll roll through this now. I know in my head, before going into this, I know in my head who I would pick out of the three. So Drew Eubanks has got a good one. Pat Connaughton. Yeah, it's not bad for Pat, actually. And who was the other one? Josh Green. I mean, look, I would have said Drew Eubanks solely on the basis that Nurkic is out. So he should see the best sort of uptick in usage and minutes that will go from it. I can't believe I'm quite saying play Drew Eubanks off of what he's done this season, but that would be the one. Yes, both are out, Gary Trent Jr. and Scotty Barnes. Okay, so here we go. That is all aboard the Siakam train. It'd be interesting to see who he's going to play. Is Van Vliet playing as well? It could be a Van Vliet show. There'll be a few more picks from it. What's good, George? What do you think about Cam Reddish and Trendon Watford? Now, you're talking my language in this sort of one. We'll go back onto my teams. I'll show you through them here. I don't think I put Cam Reddish in my contender lineup. I have got a Trendon Watford, but I've got a Cam Reddish sitting there. I've had a Cam Reddish since sort of 5 months, day dot. Bought him when he was, had that 50-point game. I had him at the Knicks. I was like, yeah, this is looking really good. And then Tibbs was like, no, he doesn't run enough. So we're going to sit you now for 2.5 months. So I stayed faithful to him. Alan, best option under 28. Let's have a look for you. Come on, let's do it. Let's do this. That's 29. So we're just going to roll with it anyway. We'll look at the differences. Not that way. Under 20. I mean, Biyombo's seeming to be this sort of god pick this week because of DeAndre Ayton not playing. But there are risks that come with it. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll slot in and play all the time. They could swap people about. It still looks like a solid pick. If you have him in your gallery before, I'd play him. I wouldn't necessarily rush out and buy him is the only concern for it. Trey Jones, I can't recommend because he's not called Jeremy Sohan, and yet he plays for the Spurs is my prerogative on this. Jaden Ivey as a 1 week seems decent, especially against a Raptors teams that's looking quite bad. We'll look at some of the higher L10 guys for you. Because this is always the thing. These are projections at the end of the day. It doesn't always live to it. So I still want to have a player that I know can get a solid score, but has an upside to it, not someone that never scores well and is now all of a sudden seemingly to be a great play. It's not always the case, is what I found from playing this. Killian Hayes looks good as well, along with Jaden Ivey. Lou Dort, someone I'm playing. I can't believe they're projecting him to get 36, though. It is against the Lakers, so who knows? There's a few other picks, but yeah, I would say that they're your main guys here. Jabari Smith is always someone that can really go off in one of these random Rocket games that go for it as well. Scottish here, 4. I assume that's another guy. Alex, what stadium's that in your display picture? Let's have a look at that. Celtic or Rangers? I don't want Quinny to come for me, so I'm not going to answer any of them here. Hey, don't leave me out. The actual British mic. Oh, no, another one. We've got a few Brits in here then. This is good to see. Let's through. Thoughts on underdog players from Joe. Do you know what, Joe? Let's do this. So if I go through, I'll show you my underdog team that I threw together that absolutely will not win anything because I'm playing Balbo in it. I had Sam Hauser, Trey Mann, and Terrence Mann in it, and also Buddy Boeheim. Now, I know Buddy Boeheim, I probably might have the same NBA ability as Buddy Boeheim, but we're going to roll with him. The only issue I have with the NBA underdog, and I've said this before, I think it's the best sort of the L10 modes that have caps that increase the smaller guys in your L10 galleries are great, but give it to us permanently, not every 8 weeks for 2 weeks is my only issue with it. But we'll have a look for you. We'll go down to, what's a fair one? 13. Biyombo again, he's going to be, the thing with Biyombo as well, I'm probably butchering how you say this name. The thing with him is he such a good play this week at an L10 of 8? Do you actually play him in limited underdog, or would you not rather play him in your rare contender and rare champion? That's my only thing. It depends where, like, how stacked your gallery is and how good your champion or contender team could be. Andre Drummond, a good pick. Some of these ones are going to be really weird. December's a good pick, depending on if Caruso and a few of the other guys are out. I know DeRozan might be out. Let's have a little quick update, see if anyone else is out. We'll go through here. By the way, little plug we're going to go for here. If you're not following me on Twitter, I'm right there, George_Ledger. Drop me a little follow. We talk about NBA on there quite a lot, and so rare. So, okay, back to not self-promoting myself here. We'll go through this here. Raptors start Van Vliet, Anobi, Siakam, Jakob Pertl. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Gary Trent Jr. yet. Ruled out. Scotty Barnes ruled out. Precious Achiuwa ruled out. Was there anybody else I saw? I think AD was probable. Someone asked me before, so we'll have a little quick look. Do I see an AD? I don't see an AD. It'd be a weird time of the season now as well, because some guys are going to get sort of managed towards the end of the playoffs. Anyway, let's catch back up with some comments. Hello from New Zealand. What do I think of Okongwu? I think of Okongwu in a very good light. How do I feel of him in this week? Let's have a look. Let's move the L10 up. Not looking great for him, but again, Okongwu is a guy that can not necessarily get a huge score per week, but he can definitely put up 10, 15 above his L10. He's not got that massively high ceiling game. Well, these are his L10s on his past games, and we're looking here 65, but this was in January. But he can get in that 30 range, so he's not a bad pick per se, but not one to sort of set the world alight. Let me just catch up. Why would I not play Lillard? I think he's questionable, my guy. I think he's questionable. Let me just double check. I think we just saw it, didn't we? It was his calf, and he was questionable. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that was the case. That's why. So, Shaden Sharp, yeah, big fan of Shaden Sharp this week. What about John Collins? John Collins is the giveaway that Mike is doing, and you know, if you're not in the giveaway, it's hashtag Get Well Mike. So you know, I'm going to spam that again in the comments. Get involved in it. John Collins. Do I want to recommend that someone plays a John Collins? I don't think I do. Even though he's projecting 24, I mean, he's projecting 24, so I can't really argue at that. But it's just John Collins. It seems that it's so 2.5 years ago is my only concern with it. What about MVPs? Oh, yeah, we'll talk about MVPs. We haven't done it. That's a classic one to do on a live before lock. So we'll go here. We'll go L10. Luka's only got the one game, so I'm not really going to recommend a Luka this week. Dame Lillard with that questionable tag for his calf that he's still got. I think AD's probable. I think he'll play one of these games against the OKC and the Bulls. If you're putting AD on Nikola Vucevic, then I'm going to go with AD all day long on that one. Jason Tatum at 49 is quite good. I think the best one I saw was Giannis. Giannis was sitting at 46, and to me, that's 46. They've got him at 54 here. Both these games, the Jazz not so much. I'd expect the bigger score to come against Denver. I think that's going to be one of those games where it's at the pre-playoffs. They both want to really go at each other, see who's the alpha MVP. Even though Embiid's going to win MVP, don't tell anyone. I don't want to start any hate. If you're Jokic MVPs, it might not go too great here in this one for us here right now. Other MVP choices, Steph's all right, I suppose. Depends if they're on a road trip or not. Do I like anybody else? I think, if you've got the Giannis, I mean, breaking news, guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be a great MVP this week. That's really where we're going to go from this here. I think apart from that, there's not really too many others that we're going to go from here. Let's go from here. Jules St. Ledger, chronically height deficient. Wow, I'm 6 foot. I'm taller than Mike, apparently. Where's this coming from? The projection chart, my man. I don't do momentum labs. It's not something over here that I've never used. I'm always a Sorare Data Guys elite, so apologies for that. The Emirates, that's your one. Okay, so you're having a very good season then. You're very, very happy with yourself, aren't you, Alex? Spurs rotation killed my midweek lineup. Got 155 points with 4 players, and then they decide to sit Keldon both games. Hate them with a passion now. See, this is what I say. Spurs, you can't trust the Spurs this year. Jeremy Sohan is the only man from the Spurs that I can trust. He's out. Let's have a look. Something else here. Get Well Mike's are going. God, I'm really behind on this. Let me catch up some of these comments here right now. Top 3 MVP shouts. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go for... I'm going to say Embiid, because even though he's questionable right now with this calf soreness, his games are against the Warriors and the Suns. And if Biyombu's playing, I'm fancying Embiid in both those games. He'll probably play both. There is a chance he might not play against the Warriors, obviously, because he's questionable. But this is what Joel Embiid's been this year. He's been a walk-in questionable tag. So he plays the majority of these games. I think he can smash 60 in one of these games, definitely. So he'll be an MVP pick. If AD's playing one, I'd have AD. And I also really like Giannis this week as well. With those two games, I think they're both really good. Two sets, Luka, and this is a massive question, Majaz. What is this? If I'm picking two sets out of these, let me look. Trendon Watford, bro. I'm going for the Trendon Watford. You got to tidy that question up for me. I can't read through all of that. I'm going to go the Trendon Watford and Biyumbu one I really like, but send me that in a bit of an easier way, and we'll go from there. Do you think RJ Hampton is a good player? Let's have a look at RJ Hampton. What's he saying? I haven't actually looked at an RJ Hampton in a while. It's not gonna have him. Oh, it's R.J. Yeah, he's looking quite good actually for what the projection's saying. I mean, obviously these are just projections, so don't go too deep on everything for it. But his SO5, he's projecting big minutes, so this could be one of these games. He's not had a season. He's not had one of those massive ceiling games. Is my only concern with him. So you're playing him at 13. He might get double, so it depends on where you're feeling for it. Yeah, I was looking at this one. I forgot to send it over. Why not Luka as MVP? It's not necessarily that I wouldn't pick him. If I had him in my gallery, I'm probably going to play a Luka Doncic. It's just, for me, I think there's other MVP picks this week that speak to me that seem to be a little bit better. If he gets a 70-point game, triple-double tonight, don't come looking at me for an answer, unfortunately, my man. Stokastic also good. Yeah, I'm sure they are. DeJounte Murray or Desmond Bain? I'm going to go DeJounte Murray on that one. Definitely DeJounte Murray on that one. I don't even have to look necessarily at it at all. The 76ers have a back-to-back. Paul going to start with the Suns. Yeah, very much could do. It all depends on if Embiid is conscious enough that he's going to he's wrapped up that MVP debate is his main issue for it. Right, I'm really behind on some of these comments. Let's get through here. Is Jar back? I believe he's still coming off the bench. I think that's the prerogative with it. And he's playing the Rockets, so I mean, he can easily put up a good score against the Rockets as well. Let's have a look at what Ja Morant is saying. Let's pull this through here. Share this tab instead. SO5s. So yeah, I mean, he's still projecting 38, and then via the Hawks, his minutes are going up. So they're seeing him via the Hawks. The one concern I'd have is this is the away leg. So I mean, if he's in Atlanta, is Ja going to be playing properly? This is what you got to think about now. For Morant is the only thing for it. Do we like Boucher? Right. KB97. I'm going to let you into another secret. I might have showed this before and people might have seen it. We share this tab instead. Am I playing him in contender? I am. I'm playing a Chris Boucher. I know it's terrible. I'm also playing a Trey Jones, a Jordan. But this is just a lineup here of big gambles that probably won't go well. Yeah, if Boucher gets 30 minutes, he's great. But look, I'm playing him because he allows me to play a few of these other guys and Vucevic in a contender. I wouldn't recommend it per se. This is what I'm doing. If it takes the fall and it's terrible, I personally will live with it. So that's where we'll go from here. I'll run you through my lineups again. If you haven't as well, don't forget the giveaway is for a John Collins limited card. It is #GetWellMike. We'll just double check as well that is definitely working. We've got 74 entries in there now. So you got to make sure that you like the stream, all of that yada yada stuff. Subscribe to the Team Hold channel and all of this stuff. And whilst you're here, you can come and show me some love. We're at the Swingman Podcast. We do NBA Sorare stuff all the time. That would be great if you come over it from it as well. Right, where are we at then? Get your comments in. I want some of those sort of the classic, should I play this guy or should I play this guy? I don't want to see the lineups of, do you think this is a good lineup? And it's like 5 stellar guys with a Biyumbu in there, because we all know it's going to be a solid lineup from it, definitely. No, I'm telling you, Jojo will sit with his Suns. Second night of row back-to-back. The following game is Jokic and Nuggets. It's easy. Oh, okay. You're feeling confident on it then. Yeah, I mean, look, go for it, man. Go for it. Absolutely. I'm going to play my Embiid because I'm going to hope he smashes it with the Warriors, but that's what we're going to be. Dayron Sharp or Taurine Prince? That is a question of pure Sorare heritage, if we've ever heard it, is what I'll say there. Let's have a look. Let's consult the Game Week Center. So I've got a Taurine Prince. If you want to feel sorry for me, let's do this right now, actually. Look at this for a lineup. So we'll go global. Look at this. This rare contender. I'm not even showing you it. This rare contender lineup right here. Taurine Prince with that 55. Jimmy Butler with a 77. Okong with a 35. And Bol. Can you believe it? Bol of all people let us down. It's just, do you know what?
Bol.
His first name is Bull and his last name is Bull?
No, yeah.
Legs!
Wow. Lucky legs.
Oh my God! I bet his legs are taller than my whole body. I'm leaving you for Bol. Like,
yeah, so Bol let us down. But Taurine Prince, especially if Anthony Edwards is ill and he's not playing, he'll be a stellar pick this week. This is one of these ones where I'm not buying this 13 with a difference. I'm not buying it. I don't know if this is a roto wire projection or what it is, but I'm not buying 13. I'd say he'd get in the 20s, but again, don't come for me here. Should I play Giddy, Boucher, and Avija, or Jaren Jackson Jr., Avija, and Agbaji? I'm going to go for that last one, man. Jaren Jackson Jr. will be a solid pick this week, and I also like Agbaji for other reasons for it. Poor week cap is too high to take a chance. Yeah, but what if he comes in and this is the thing with this game? There's no prerogative. It's all hindsight that's going to come from it. Tatum with Giannis, Siakam, Hardy, Collins. Nobody else fits for a 20. Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me, man. Where else are we going to go from here? Yeah, Limit Collins would be sick. Make sure you're getting involved in that. Hashtag Get Well Mike in the comments. Let's just hope that the NyQuil's kicking in for him now, so he's relaxed, in a relaxed state before. I hope he's done his lineups, is what I'll say before that. If there's anything else that we're going to come here from. Biyombo Prince, yeah, I didn't answer, did I? I will go with Biyombo, though, on this week on the basis that he does have the 2 games. I think that's the main thing. DeAndre Ayton is going to be out for both of these minimum, so he's a bit of a safer pick than Prince, because if Prince starts bad, there's no reason why he won't come back into the game, and so on and so forth. Rank them. Wood, Mark Williams, Tim Hardaway, Franz, and Wiseman. Is that Franz Wagner? Because I think he left the game yesterday with an injury. Yeah, he's got a tag right there. Chris Wood, what's he saying? We'll go through these here. Chris Wood. Yeah, he's looking at a decent matchup for it. He's got 2 games as well. That's not a bad one. James Wiseman, 1 game, but it is against the Raptors right now. That's the only thing as well. You can bank on in these weekend slots and the ones that we've got here. This could be potentially a solid pick for it. And Mark Williams, we didn't look at, did we? I don't really love Mark Williams. Tim Hardaway is a guy that I've loved in the NBA for a while. It's a bit of a weird one, I know, but he's not projecting well. Now I've got to say Chris Wood. I think on that one, that'd be the move I'd go for from there. Where else are we going to do? We're going to do some more. We're going to do some more questions. I want to hear them all. I'll probably do another 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes at max, and then I've got to run. Going into the playoffs, who are some bench guys that get a minutes boost? I think it's going to be hard to make lineups come playoff time. So I said this before. I did a playoff video on the Swingman Podcast channel the other week, or the other day, I should say. And it's just in the playoffs, there's a lot of guys that I've had questions asking me about similar stuff to this. The playoffs the minutes get tighter. They just get tighter. And you're going to get guys where they play in 25 minutes in the regular season, and they'll either be, if they're key guys, the core rotation is going to get short, is going to shrink. Teams will go 8 deep on their bench, including the 5. So like 3 deep on their bench. They're going to go 8 units. They're not going to go down to 12 or the 13th man. That's not going to be a thing unless it's garbage time and they're getting spanked by 30 points. Then they're not really going to care about it. That'll be the only issue for that. Best player under an L10 of 22. Do you know what? We can do that for you. Let's have a look. Let's do this. 22. Where are we going? What's taking us at 22? It's not Trey Jones. I'm not picking Trey Jones. He's in my lineup, but I know he's going to do me over. 34. See, this is what I mean. Projections don't mean everything. Trey Jones is not hitting 34. I've had this man enough now to realize he's not going to do that. Bobby Portis is a solid pick. If that game's won, the issue is that Giannis will sit, and they might even sit Bobby Portis depending on how far up they are. Where else are we going to go for? Cam Reddish, 27 is not bad. Bruce Brown, right? Let me tell you something about Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown is the definition of the steady Eddie player on Sorare. I'm going to even try and find his. Let's go and find his SO5s and what he was saying. I've owned him. I got him as my referral reward when someone else signed up to Sorare using my link. Look at this. That is a consistent. Okay, ignore these little ones here. But for an L10 of 21, if you want a banker on that man getting in and around 21, Bruce Brown is your guy. So if you're looking for mediocrity, but you want consistent floor results, Bruce Brown is your man on Sorare. That's what we're going to go. Yeah, playoffs will be close to 7-man rotations. Very true. Could be the case. Jaden McDaniels or Russ. I assume that's Russ Westbrook. I'd go with Westbrook, especially with Paul George out. I'll go with Westbrook at the moment for it, definitely. Going to cough one moment. Oh, we're back. Thoughts on the Sea Little? Yeah, solid pick, especially if Dame's gone. Solid pick at all. Best 11 and under. This is what we're here for. 11. 11's going to be tough. It's going to be Biyombo. It's just going to be Biyombo. Yeah, it's a Biyombo week. He's going to be the cheat code. I'm really, really hoping he gets like ejected for a flagrant foul in the first game, and then the NBA suspend him for the second, because I don't have him, and that's how I roll with it on this one. Will the 120 cap increase for the playoffs? That there should be less low cap players used higher minutes and bad teams getting knocked out. This was one of my primary concerns. This is what I said. I don't think they've announced in the Medium post that they did for it. I don't think they announced anything in particular that was running through cap increases. I think they're going to roll with what they've got, and it will go from there in particular. They might change it during the course of it if it does get too hard, but I think they're gonna roll with what they've got at the moment with limited champion and contender and see from there. What is my Twitter? Not sure how I don't follow you, but your content is this. Is this good? I hope that means it's good. My Twitter is it's here. It's at George_St Ledger. I can't really move this setup that we've got here. That's my Twitter. It's at George_St Ledger. My other one is what we do as the general gist. At Swingman Pod, the podcast that we do. This will be on my YouTube channel as well. It's the same thing. It's at Swingman Pod everywhere. Yeah, feel free to drop me a follow. I chat quite a lot of rubbish about Sorare NBA, so come and tell me how bad I am on that there. We'll jump back to Underdog just to see if we miss any last-minute injury news. Ben Simmons is out with a back pain. That's a shocker right there. If we've heard it, that's a team hold breaking news. Right there, that's some breaking news. Get well, Mike. Get involved in that there. How many entries have we got? We've got 83 entries now. Make sure you put that in the comments down below. Like and sub to the channel to be involved in that giveaway. It's for a John Collins limited card. We definitely need sub swap slots. For questionable players going forward to avoid potential DMPs would also help stimulate the MP. What do you mean stimulate the MP? What's that mean? What's the MP mean? Am I missing something there? I do think it will help, but it's also part of the game. The issue with the one thing I'd say is that the deadline of how close it is to the last game can give people that are right up and playing the game on deadline a small advantage to guys that play this game a bit more casually is the only thing I'd say. So that's the one thing for that. What else are we missing here? How is it possible that BMW has a ridiculous for a €1? I think you're probably seeing his floor price at €1 because it's tracking it over the average days. Now that DeAndre Ayton's out, he's going to be sort of the main center for the next 2 weeks for the Suns. In projection terms, I wouldn't necessarily go by that as gospel, but that's normally what happens on this basis. So people will spike the price up for the next sort of day or so. When DeAndre Ayton comes back, he'll come crashing back down. That's just sort of how it works. What else have we got in here? Marketplace. It could help for the marketplace. Look, there's a load of economic stuff on the Sorare side of things. The thing what I always see is that people are like freaking out that their gallery value is a lot less than what it was. And I can understand that and definitely sympathize with it as well. But when you think about it, would you not expect, if you pay £50 for a LeBron James at the start of the season with 82 games in the playoffs in mind, would you not think that if you buy him now, where you've got him for 10 games in the playoffs, it should be less? Like, I would expect it to be less and then it to go up again in the ramp up to the second season. That would be a normal market state. I would be not worried because I wouldn't care if he was the same value, but I'd be a bit confused if he was the same price now as he was at the start of the season. That's the only thing. That's my 2 cents for it here. What else have we got here? BMW Cat will make 30 points very easily. Sorry, I've been speaking straight for 44 minutes now. I'm getting a little bit thirsty, is what we say. Drew Eubanks or Shaden Sharp? What a question that is. I'll go Shaden Sharp because I don't want to recommend a Drew Eubanks pick. But I think my head would say, my heart will say Shaden Sharp, but my head will say Drew Eubanks. And look, both of them are projecting quite well and above their caps. It's just sort of how you think these games will go. If he's against the Bulls, I'd probably go Shaden Sharp for a bigger score. That's the only thing that I would say. And we'll go for it. I think it absolutely. Jared Allen or Tyler Hero or hang on. I'm not here for this. One sec. Am I going to find it? Jared Allen or wow. Unbelievable that I found that clip is what we're going to say. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say Tyler Hero. I'm going to say Jared Allen, but I've not even looked at Jared Allen's things. Yeah, Jared Allen's, he's got the one game, but it's against the Rockets. It's against the Rockets. Jared Allen, definitely. I think it's the display area. Yeah, it's probably the case. Brook Lopez, Brolo, or Donovan Mitchell. Have they got similar caps? No way. Donovan Mitchell's at 43. What's Brolo at? 43 for oh no, that's his L10. Now Donovan Mitchell all day, Reese, all day. Donovan Mitchell. I'd say Shell Sharp and take the money. Big shout out to Bick. I remember you, man. How you doing? Look, this is the thing as well. Sell Sharp and take the money. If you cash in on these guys now, you're obviously realizing it, but it's the age-old, so rare question: do you play them or sell them? That's the thing. If they're going to help make a lineup that looks really, really solid for you, definitely go for that. Just play them. Go for it. Go from it from there. Reeves or Jabari Smith? Jabari Smith all day. I don't even need to look at the projections for that. I know Reeves has been really good recently, but I'm going to go Jabari Smith this week, definitely. Pick one. Oh, I love these sort of questions. Okay, here we go. Bargy, Nick Richards, Jalen Williams, or Malik Beasley. Is Malik Beasley really projecting that well? Is that what he's doing? Is this a Malik Beasley week? Don't tell me that. I sold him like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 6 on his L10 is not too bad. Off the top, looking at this here, I'm probably going to say Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams, yeah. Do you know what? I'm not going to look. Jalen Williams, Magnum is your guy here. Marcus Smart, Tari Eason, or Keegan Murray, 2 games each. I'm probably going to play Marcus Smart. So if I've not shown you guys already, we'll quickly run you back through this. We'll go to live here, upcoming. We'll go to my teams. So these are my lineups. I've got Marcus Smart in my rec contender, along with Watford Prince. I should move Gary Trent. How long have I got? 30 minutes. So we're going to wrap. We'll probably do another 5 minutes. I'll do 3 more questions, and then we'll wrap this one up here. Make sure that you've got hashtag GetWellMike in the comments. You're sub to the Team Hub channel, and you've liked the video as well. Get involved in it. Definitely, that is the case for it. We're going to run through a few more things as well. Let me just go back to. Let me go back to SRD. But yeah, I'd go for Marcus Smart there, definitely, my man. Zilly, I'd go Jakob Poeltl. I think he's got the 2 games, and with a few doubts on the Raptors lineups at the moment, I'd probably go for him. I know he's starting. Do we believe Van Vliet going for a ceiling game? Look, I mean, the way that Raptors lineup is right now, we definitely could see a ceiling game from Van Vliet. Would love to see Sharp, but I'm playing him tip-off as he's a common. Yeah, that's definitely the one that we're going for. Yeah, good to see that you're leaning in with Smart. I'm seeing a load of get well mics. Right, I'm going to do 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap this one up here. It's been an absolute blast, It's been fun. It's 48 minutes has absolutely flown by. I've downed all my water. Is mainly the next consent, and I won't be able to speak. This has been a 48-minute monologue for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So get your last-minute questions in. We'll run through them there as well. Who should I pick, actually? We'll go back to, whilst we wait for these. Let me. So we'll go through these orders here. If I'm not playing a Gary Trent Jr., who should I be picking? Is the thing that I want to know. At 26, I can't reach to a Sohan. He's out. Jeremy Grant's out as well. I'd probably go for an Okongwu. That's probably what I'm going to do. I think that's the move. We'll just swap them out and we go from there. Right, what have we got? We got some more enjoyment ones. Yeah, if thoughts on the Sea Little. Do you know what? Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look. See, he's got that little doubt, but he's got 2 games here. It's a concussion one, so they might be a bit more. Concussion can be either way as well in the NBA. So, yeah, look, if you've got a guy at an L10 or 10 and that's your pick, it's not the end of the world, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a really strong one, is what I'd say. Right, I think we're gonna wrap that one up there because we're looking at 50 minutes and my voice is about to go. It's been an absolute blast, is what I'd say, doing this. Let's actually do it. Yeah, let's wrap this one up. Let me jump over to how am I doing this? I've got it done in a different thing here. How am I gonna? Oh no, this is where the technical issues come in. How am I gonna share this screen? Actually, let's do it like this. I know I've got it on my Twitter. We'll all be good here. If I see any last minute questions when we come through, I'll answer them before we go. Let me find it out here. Malcolm Brogdon has lower back pain ruled out. So that's just looking like there's a few more options that we can go through. What is DeJounte projecting? Do you know what? Let's get to that as well. Let's go for DeJounte Murray. Do we even look at the DeJounte? He's projecting at 40 at 34, and especially with these two matchups, if Jar is out and sits and plays lesser minutes in that Memphis game, he could be a solid option, especially if Trey misses that as well. Can I find the giveaway link? Let me see if I can find it. Oh dear, what are we doing, eh? What are we doing? I want to know as well. Put in these comments if you're still here with me. Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to win the chip? That's what I want to know. I want a classic NBA question. Who have you got winning the NBA chip this year? Are the Sixers going to do it? Are they finally going to do it? Can someone tell me that the Sixers are going to win a championship? That's all I really want to know as well. Am I thinking crazy? Am I thinking crazy stuff, or am I not thinking crazy stuff? Is this going to work? That's not going to work, is it? Right, let me try. Well, Bucks, Sixers, Nuggets, Bucks. Thing is, I can't see the Nuggets doing it. That's my only thing with it. Kings, Warriors. Like the beam, I'm loving that energy. That would be a great one. However, if the Kings do end up playing the Warriors in the first round, unfortunately I'm seeing the Warriors go for it. Is my only concern with that there. How do I do this? How do I share it? I'm having an absolute moment. Knicks will win and the world will end. Do you know what? If the Knicks win the NBA championship, we're gonna have to do something. We'll have to do the biggest giveaway of all time if the Knicks win the championship. Is what I'll say. How am I going to share this? Oh dear, what are we doing? Right, present. Am I going to get this? There we go. We've got it here. Right, we're going to draw this now. And you're going to DM Mike, but he's not very well, so that'll be his main concern from it. Oh, Marco Marquez, you're the winner. DM Mike, you'll get your limited John Collins from there. That'll be the case from it. And we're going to wrap that one up there. That was so much fun to do this with you guys. I know you've had to put up with me now for 52 minutes. I'm very hot. I'm also very, very thirsty, and so on and so forth. Basically, yeah, if you've enjoyed this, I'm over at the Swingman Podcast on YouTube at Swingman Pod. I'm also on Twitter at George_St. Ledger. I'll run through all of the Sorare NBA stuff every week that I do it on. I'll do a game week lineup video for both locks and, some other little things here and there that come from it. And also our general podcast that we've been doing now for a number of years. So if you don't mind some British people talking about the NBA, that is the case. You are more hot than Mike. I am. I'm very, very hot. I'm very red as well is the case from it. Standing under these lights for 53 minutes is it's a warm one as well, and it's March in England. George, who is your favorite NBA team? I would say the Sixers. They are the case for it. I do have a Ben Simmons jersey though, so that says everything. I'm gonna go for LeBron to roll back the years. Very much a case indeed. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for the kind words. It was hard filling in for the shoes of Mike, but let's hope he's all good, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a blast, and yeah, we're gonna wrap that one up there. Thanks for it all. See you later.